Hey Karin, I really want to empower my team. I've got so much going on and I really need to focus here, but I am worried because you would be surprised. Sometimes I just think, what were they thinking? Why did they do that? How do I develop critical thinking on my team? Asking for a friend. So this question comes up so often, and we've done a ton of writing, built a bunch of tools, but just let me share a couple here, and then I'm going to put some links to some critical articles in the comments so you can take a look at those too. The first thing I would say is when managers come to us and say their team lacks critical thinking skills, when we pull back on that and really look at what's going on underneath, one of the things we find so frequently is that people just don't have enough context to be strategic. So be sure that they really understand what you're all about. They understand the why behind what you're asking them to do. They know about your competition. They know what your customers want. They can answer those questions. And so in 7 strategic questions your team must be able to answer. That's a good place to start. I'd be very curious what other strategic questions you would add. Another thing I would say is that think about when you're really frustrated that somebody is not making the same decisions that you would, or they're stepping in something and you wouldn't have made that mistake. Ask yourself this: how did I get there? How did I learn this? Because it's unlikely that you were just born with this natural instinct. Somewhere along the line, you either screwed something up and you said, I'm never going to do that again, or you had a mentor who told you a strategic story. You had some experience. If you really need people to transfer that leadership mindset and to think like you would in a certain context, think about how can you either share a strategic story, don't make this mistake that I did, or give them some scaffolded experiences where they can learn how to think this way. And then I would say another is, of course, you've probably seen our I.D.E.A model, but this is perfect for this scenario. When you say, okay, when you're thinking through the ideas and ways, ask, why is this idea interesting? Why is it strategically aligned with wherever you're going? Is this idea doable? Meaning, could we pull this off right now? E, is it engaging? Meaning, who else do we need to include, the critical stakeholders? And A, what are a couple of key actions? So if they can then come to you with their suggestions about how they would approach something, you're not having to micromanage, but you are coaching them through what to do next. And then finally, I would say, think about the art of really asking strategic questions to get people to think more deeply about the business. So, questions like looking at the data and the trends. Okay, so what was different in March that caused the data to look like this? Why did things get so much better? What did your team do differently? Or, have you checked out what our competition is doing in this arena? Is there anything we can learn from that? Or, when you think about the 7 strategic priorities that you have going on right now, what are the 1 or 2 that would have the biggest impact on our results? So those are a few of my thoughts. I'll add some extra links for some of the tools. Particularly want to check out the 9 What's coaching model with 9 strategic questions. That's also very helpful. Okay, those are a few of my thoughts. What would you add?